Fans Beyond Wrestling Denver, Colorado, the man not the place, going to be calling the match alongside Paul Crockett of PW Insider. And we've got a matchup between Maxwell, Jacob Friedman, and the debuting Josh Briggs.
Josh Briggs, a former standout at UMass Amherst Division I football, 6'7", 269 pounds. And when you see him just walking around, you know he's someone. And then you see him get in the ring and go, oh my God, this is a mountain of a man. And he has MJF's scarf. What's he gonna do with it? Oh, little showmanship, a little gamesmanship. Trying to get into the head of MJF here early, which...
Oh, that's a little bit disrespectful. That's destruction of property. That scarf will never be the same again.
Well, not only is he big, but he's smart too, because he already has a psychological advantage on MJF, which isn't easy to do.
Well, MJF is going to try and put it past him. We've seen his career skyrocket in Beyond Wrestling since he did a studio taping here against Kevin Tibbs back in November.
I'm Josh Briggs. I'm big and scary. You suck. I'm a god.
Wow. And if MJF thought that he was going to get back into the head of Briggs, that shove says otherwise. That was really impressive.
Dude, MJF runs his mouth, but more often than not, he can back it up. That's why he's one of the fastest rising stars in all of professional wrestling. It's not cocky if you can back it up, and he backs it up.
You're right. He's one of the most obnoxious human beings I've ever met, but it's all for a purpose. That's something I never want to see up close in my life, and I think MJF just changed his tune.
If he was intimidated, though, he wouldn't be running his mouth still. He knows he's got a tall task ahead of him, but you know in his heart of hearts, he believes he can get it done.
Right, but there's a little shred of him that's a little worried right now.
You saw the hair.
I didn't, but I'll take your word for it.
See, MJF is biding his time right now. He's trying to figure out, now that he's standing toe-to-toe with Briggs. There we go. And there we go. And that was the advantage that he was looking for.
We're cool. Let's go. We're cool.
Oh, and that was a little bit low for my liking.
With a size disadvantage like that, though, you have to take every shot you can.
I don't know if this is a smart maneuver. MJF was looking to send Briggs for the ride. Instead, just met 3 buckles and a back body drop.
The height on that was frightening.
Whoa!
Wow.
I wasn't expecting to see Briggs moving that fast across the ring.
Whoa.
Damn, this guy's as nimble as he is strong. Disorienting Maxwell Jacob Friedman with that spinning side slam.
The pride of Bullhead City, Arizona, just showed why he is one of the fastest rising prospects out of this school that I have ever seen. The first time I walked into this building, I went, who is this? And he keeps defying the expectations.
I've probably only spoken 2 sentences to the kid in my entire life, and I asked him, why'd you stop playing football? He says, I don't like football. So there you go. I mean, you've seen competitors like Keith Lee or even like Baron Corbin, you know, guys that have hung up the pads for something a little bit more violent. Yeah, MJF ain't gonna buy his way out of this one.
He is on Dream Street. Oh!
Of course, MJF says that he wants to be the face of the quote-unquote new crop wrestlers here in Beyond Wrestling. This next generation of guys that's coming up all at once, I mean, if Josh Briggs can pick up a victory here today, he's going to shoot his name to the top of that list. He's going to be somebody that's going to be competing on Beyond Wrestling live events sooner than later. He might be anyway.
His series of matches with Wheeler Yuta were something that I was not expecting at all, and it really showed how he can do every single facet of professional wrestling really, really well, including picking apart a body part like the elbow of Josh Briggs.
Well, this is where MJF really excels, though, is that once he finds his shot, he does not miss the mark. And he loves to target his opponent's arms. And sometimes with a competitor the size of Josh Briggs, maybe you're not going to be able to take too much of the fight to his head or his torso or his tree trunk legs. So you find the smallest appendage and you go after it.
Josh Briggs moved here for a football scholarship, but very early on in his football career, he realized this isn't in my heart, this isn't what I want to do. So he found the New England Pro Wrestling Academy, and ever since then, he's been training 2-3 times a week, and now he's starting to branch out a little bit in the Northeast in New England with some success.
Yeah, but you know what? MJF grew up silver spoon in his mouth. This is the only thing he ever wanted to do. And the moment that he was old enough, he started training. I mean, this guy just turned 21 years old, and he had told me, WWE scouts want me to wrestle 4 places like Beyond Wrestling until I'm old enough to earn a contract. I mean, that is absurd.
He also had a scholarship offer, and very much like Briggs, he was there for about a day, I think, or a week, and he said, I can't do this. Beautiful picking apart of that arm, cover, 2 count only.
MJF was going to play football?
Yes.
I can't see him getting along with 10 other players on the field.
He told me in an interview that he had a scholarship offer.
To play or to be the coach, because he likes bossing people around.
Water. But in all reality, he said he was there for about a day and realized this isn't in my heart. I need to go do what I really was born to do, and that's wrestle professionally. And that's when he found Kurt Hawkins out on Long Island, and he's been skyrocketed ever since.
Well, I mean, both of these guys, physical specimens. You can't question the conditioning of either of these athletes. But MJF has got a little bit more experience. He's got not only experience. Oh, wow!
Beautiful.
I was not expecting that. That's where leverage comes into play. That is all skill and that is all technique, because MJF is giving up so much size. There's nothing going to tell me that's going to convince me he's stronger than Josh Briggs, but he whipped him off the ropes, got underneath him, and used the weakened arm to propel him.
And that's one of the things about MJF, too, is that he may not let you know it, but he's a student of the game. He's watched all of the best over the years, and he knows how to exploit any weakness that he may have with an opponent.
Oh, just sizing him up and punching him in the face. Dude, even Briggs on his knees, almost as tall as MJF, at a complete vertical base, though. Oh, and he just got caught in the ear. Caught in the ear, but only a glancing blow. I mean, again, it's been the story of today. It's very hot in this building.
Yes.
The condensation, the perspiration starts to build up, and it's hard to make sure that all of your shots find the mark, but the accuracy of MJF, despite that, has been very impressive. I don't know what he's looking for right here. He's in no man's land as far as I'm concerned.
If he had been able to get him with the arm from up top, it would be over, but Briggs has a lot of fight left.
What the hell is this guy? He's going to hit his head on the ceiling.
Oh! A devastating forearm to the back. MJF, though, ring positioning, he still knew where he was in that ring.
Briggs' foot, his right foot, slid about a foot from the time that he got pushed until the time that he jumped. How can this guy be that agile, standing almost 7 feet tall?
Both men back up to their feet. MJF goes for the death blow, but his elbow's already hurt. Oh, headbutt.
You know, we've seen a lot of wrestlers pick up that particular headbutt technique over the past couple of years. But I don't know if anybody's used it more effectively than Josh Briggs. But Briggs, a rookie mistake, his arm is damaged, running on instinct, was looking for the Irish whip, right through the clothesline. Oh my God.
Did you see the rotation on that clothesline?
Tell you, man, Briggs is fighting for a job right now. It's a pleasure to watch.
I don't like you.
Oh my God, almost kicked his head right onto us.
You can see a lot of Donovan Dijak in
I didn't. You know what? I wasn't gonna be the one to make the comparison because that's a tough shadow to live in. But
I just mean the intensity and the force with everything he does.
I'll tell you what. The first time that Donovan Dijak did a studio taping for Beyond Wrestling, he was nowhere near as ready to go as Josh Briggs is.
Yes.
So if he's picked it up, I mean, we're just coming up on the anniversary of the CM Punk pipe bomb promo. That was the first time that Donovan Dijak started watching wrestling as an adult. So everything that he's accomplished between starting training, starting wrestling, and everything that he's got ahead of him, I mean, it's unbelievable. But if Briggs can get as much done in a shorter period of time, he's going to be one of the greatest wrestlers ever. So he hasn't even beaten MJF right now. We're getting ahead of ourselves, Paul.
Because MJF is still right in this. He knows exactly where he is. Going for it. Oh, beautiful. Half Nelson suplex.
Oh, and the knockout knee.
Briggs is not done, and I think MJF is starting to get a little worried.
Tell you what, man, these studio tapings, they are grueling. You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to break out. But if you are selected to go on last, I think it's both a compliment and a curse, because this has been a long, grueling day of tapings in a very hot building. These guys are already fatigued coming into the match, and just seeing the back and forth action, the fact that, you know, it could really go either way still at this point, it's just something special to see.
This is gut check time. You're absolutely right.
Dude, if I yelled that loud right now, I'd be seeing stars. The fact that he's going to yell and try and take it to a guy that stands well over a foot taller than him, MJF is a maniac. Still going back to that arm, but Briggs got a good one on the other side of him.
I'd take one of those and I'd be dead.
Oh, right to the throat, and the referee needs to get in there. That was a cheap shot through and through. But there's the athleticism that you never expect from MJF because he's so cerebral.
Oh. Beautiful boot from Briggs. Oh, inside out lariat. Beautiful exchange.
I don't think Briggs realizes how close he is. If he could just drape that arm and just roll over an MJF, you might have this 1-1. You'd hate to see it end in a draw. These guys only have about another 10 or 12 seconds to get up to their feet. While Stephen Dumag not wasting any time with his count.
He got the cover at the last second. MJF right in the armbar.
I was not expecting that.
Oh, no.
Again, the athleticism, though. That was like Scott Hall, just riding him down with it.
I don't know how MJF got up.
The thing about MJF is you see a lot of these other guys that are so athletic, they're flashy with it. They use the athleticism to build their audience, to build their fan base, to build their support. And MJF, he only really digs down deep and relies on the athleticism when push comes to shove. Because he can get it done with technique, like he's doing right now. Josh Briggs, the rookie, questioning the official's decision, and he's going to get his arm broken.
He's been working that arm for about 15 minutes now. And it's desperation.
Look at that! Look at MJF's
He's going for the
face.
hand.
He's got a hold of the wrist. He's applying pressure on the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist, all of the small bones in the hand. And Josh Briggs' long leg.
6'7" comes into play. And Briggs smartly rolling to the outside. He might need a second.
Well, you can't get a victory on the outside.
And this company is mine!
We'll have to ask the officials of Beyond Wrestling about
I mean,
that.
that's a pretty emphatic statement, but he's yet to fully produce.
This could be devastating. Oh my God! Briggs' head spiked straight into the mat with full torque and momentum. And that's all she wrote for Josh Briggs, but you have to say that was an incredibly impressive debut.